Money makes the world go round, and in 2022 we've come to see this as a fact, rather than a phrase. It's naive to think that you can achieve everything you set out for in 2022, traveling, new wardrobe, early retirements, and the sort, with nothing but a few pennies in your pocket. A financial goal could be a short-term one or a long-term one. A short-term goal would be set out and subsequently achieved within the same year, paying for a wedding. A long-term one would be set out today, but you'll see the result of it in a few years, repaying your student loans. Regardless of the time frame, setting a financial goal is the first step in achieving financial liberty. It gets pretty annoying having to worry about money day in and day out. So today, we'll be looking at 10 financial goals you should set out for 2022. Let's get started. Organize your financial documents. Destiny's Child probably said it best: bills, bills, and bills. However, while it's easy to get frustrated over pieces of paper being mailed to your address, constantly asking you for more money at the end of or start of every month, it's important to safekeep these bills. Why? Because they help in understanding, comparing, and then planning where your money goes and how much of it goes where. The first step to achieving financial freedom isn't to make more money, it's to save wherever you can. For example, your electric bill for January might have been too high compared to the amount of electricity that you actually need. What does this tell you? That there are probably appliances that aren't necessarily being used that stay on. It might be prudent for you to organize your financial documents, bills, tax returns, and the sort, into one hard drive or in one binder. This dedicated space for your bills helps in reevaluating them for later. Track your spending. You get paid a certain amount at the start of each month, and you pretty much always anticipate having at least a portion of it left by the end of the month. Where does all of it go? Ask yourself where your money goes by reevaluating all of your bills for any particular month. Compare the bills with last month and the month before. It's okay to splurge a little here and there, but don't turn the overly expensive coffee you have every morning into a daily thing. That $3.68 coffee might add up by the end of the month, money you could have otherwise put into your travel fund. Track your spendings, evaluate your needs with your wants, and then come up with ways to cut down on unnecessary purchases. Create a budget. Creating a budget seems like the very first thing one would do when creating a financial goal. And most of us actually do start off with one. However, most of us also give up on it when we can't meet it right away, and it's only been March. A budget allows you to stay within a particular amount and in effect enforces you to stay within a specific fiscal limit for an entire month. Budgets are restrictive, yes. However, they're also necessary. To make budgeting more fun, create a monetary goal for yourself at the end of each month. For example, if I manage to save this much, I'll buy those boots I really like, or if I manage to save this much at the end of 6 months, I'll go on vacation. Build an emergency fund. Look, the world might go into a complete state of turmoil tomorrow, because who's to say it won't? While this might seem like a bleak way to start a financial goal, it's also a necessary thought to have. You need to be able to prepare for anything. The pandemic hit everyone pretty hard, and no one had anticipated it doing so. People had to budget more, save more, and spend less in a way they never really planned on. During times like these, it's important to have an emergency fund set up. This is a fund you are not allowed to touch by any means necessary, unless there's an emergency, a medical procedure, a credit card building up too much interest, another pandemic. Pay your debts. This one might seem like a no-brainer, but had it been that easy to pay off your debts, the world would have been debt-free. Unfortunately, it's not. We might set out towards paying our debts, but it ends up becoming a thing for tomorrow. Before you know it, it goes to the back of your mind. Well, debt doesn't stop at one limit. It keeps on accumulating interest day by day. You might have had only a particular amount to pay, but because of the interest you now have to pay on it, you're close to financial ruin. Credit card debts are the worst. The idea of fast money seems enticing until you're told to pay all of it back and then some. Don't let your finances get to a point where you'll have to pay off more than you spent. Set up saving goals. An ideal goal needs to be achievable, realistic, and time-dependent. The last one is incredibly prudent because a goal is only good if it is achieved. You need to be able to set a realistic goal with a realistic time frame to achieve it. For example, you can't expect to pay off an entire wedding within a month. Unless, of course, you've saved up for it months in advance. Give yourself from 6 months to a year to save up for a wedding. Goals, be they short-term or long-term ones, need to be achievable. The fact that you're able to meet them allows you to set more goals. Make sure your goals aren't vague ones either. I'll clear off all of my student loans. You need to set off a percentage of loans you'll clear off first, achieve that, and then move on to another goal. Learn more about finances. Odds are you probably aren't an accountant. While it might be prudent to have a personal accountant to manage your finances, you would still need to be at least somewhat financially literate. What is financial literacy? The term is used to describe knowledge or the know-how of achieving financial goals, where you're spending money, where you'll be saving money, and the sort. Always remember, the more you're aware of your finances, the better you'll be able to manage them. File your taxes early. Tax season is a dedicated time of the year where you're required to file your taxes and submit them. You can't run away from your taxes out of fear of being audited, and your taxes might give you returns too. Taxes are crucial to setting financial plans. In a way, your budget revolves around your taxes and how much you're left with after tax season. The season comes by usually at the start of the month, but you can submit them well ahead in the year. Should you submit them early? Yes. Submitting your taxes earlier alleviates you from the stress and responsibility of running around towards the end to get your finances in check. Make smart investments. What is an investment? It's a surefire way to make some money without spending much. Alright, maybe that's a gross oversimplification of what an investment is. However, anyone who's found themselves with any financial security in life swears by investments. This isn't to say that you should invest wherever you think you'll be making money. Always consult with experts and pioneers in the investing game to make sure that the investments you're making are smart ones. Invest in companies where you're guaranteed returns, you'll make more than what you spend in, and where you can find yourself investing in the long term. This is also where a fair amount of financial literacy comes in. Learn how to identify between a good investment opportunity and a great one. Keep your finances at your fingertips. The average citizen spends between 5 to 7 hours each day on their phones. We'll get into whether that's a good thing or not in another video, but what this means is that your phone is where you'll find yourself dedicating a huge chunk of your day. Turn this into something that can help your finances. Download a financial tracker on your phone. Instead of going back home every day to log in how much you spent on food, transport, and the sort, just do it on your phone as you go. These applications also send daily reminders to keep you on track, and some even offer reports weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly to give you more insight over where your money is being spent, how much of it is left, and how much you saved for a particular time frame. That's all for today's video on financial goals you should set in 2022. What are your financial goals for this year? Are you saving more or paying off debts this year? Let us know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe for more videos. We'll see you back soon. Bye.